Please welcome candidate for governor, Deb Haaland.
Hello. Oh, the mic works. Good evening, Emily's List. God, what an awesome night, right? Thank you so much for that warm welcome, and it's truly an honor to be with all of you tonight and to stand in the presence of fierce leaders, change makers, and champions of democracy. I'm so thrilled to celebrate 40 years of Emily's List. 40 years of organizing, mobilizing, and most importantly, electing democratic, pro-choice women across this country. 40 years of saying, yes, women belong in every room where decisions are made. 40 years of saying, yes, women's voices are absolutely necessary. And 40 years of saying, yes, we will keep going until we build the future that we all deserve. So, I wouldn't be here tonight without Emily's List, and I mean that in the most literal sense. When I first stepped into the world of politics, it wasn't because I dreamed of even being in office. It was because I saw what happened when power ignored people like me. People like us. I grew up in my mother's Pueblo household. Strong, resilient women raised me. My mom, my grandmother, my aunties. They taught me the value of community, of showing up, and of working hard for something greater than yourself. My dad and grandpa, both veterans, instilled in me a love of public service, an understanding of sacrifice, and a passion for our country. They taught me that leadership is not about status, it's about service. I'm a single mom. I've decorated cakes at a local bakery in Albuquerque as my very first job. I walked there every day after school. It taught me a work ethic. And I've also had to struggle with homelessness certain times in my life. And in spite of how hard things have been at times, I've always had hope. It was that hope turned into action that drove me to run a small business, making, canning, and delivering my own salsa. And then to finally apply for college when I was 28 years old. Through it all, I've carried my community stories and their struggles with me. Their hopes, their hardships, and their dreams have fueled every single step I've taken. So when I decided to run for office, a lot of people weren't sure the world was ready for someone like me. But Emily's List was. They believed in me, they invested in me, and they gave me the tools and the courage to step into my power. And because of that support, I have the honor of becoming one of the first Native American women ever elected to Congress in the history of this country. Because of that support, I became the first Native American cabinet secretary. And now, because of that same courage, community, and conviction, I am running to be the next governor of New Mexico. I carry with me the stories of single mothers working double shifts, of indigenous communities fighting for clean water and tribal sovereignty, of students organizing for climate justice, and of elders who simply want dignity in their final years. Emily's List knows these stories. You've built an organization that doesn't just elect women, you empower us to transform the political landscape. You flipped state houses. You shaped the halls of Congress and plenty of governors' mansions, too. You sent women to the Senate and all the way to the president's cabinet. And through it all, you've made clear this is not simply about representation. It's about delivering results for those who need it most. Because when Democratic pro-choice women lead, let's face it, we get things done. We listen. We legislate with compassion. We lead with strength rooted in service, not ego. We protect reproductive freedom. We invest in education. We defend our environment. We stand up for working families, and we leave the ladder down for those coming after us. And we lift them up on our shoulders, and that's why this anniversary matters so much. Because 40 years in, the work is not done. Let's be honest about where we are. We are facing a coordinated attack on our rights, our freedoms, our wallets, and our futures. The Trump administration is back. And I know it's scary. They are louder, crueler, more determined than ever. They're trying to roll back decades of progress. They are trying to silence women, erase history, and dismantle democracy. They are going after reproductive care, banning books, gutting environmental protections, and slashing programs that support working families, all while giving handouts to their billionaire friends. That's right. Can we boo better than that? Yes. This is not politics as usual, folks. This is an intentional, calculated assault on the very idea that government should serve the people. But here's the thing they haven't figured out. We're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. We've seen what happens when women are at the table, but we also know what happens when we are not. Every time a woman steps into her power, she changes not just her own story, but the story of her entire community. And that's why this isn't just about this year's election or even the next one. This is generational work. So let's be bold in this critical moment. Let's be relentless. Let's be visionary. Let's tell our stories, especially the ones that were once whispered or pushed aside, because our stories are our strength. And when we lead with that strength, there is no limit to what we can build together. The next election isn't just about party lines. It's about moral lines. It's about who we are as a nation and who we're willing to fight for. It's about whether every child in this country can grow up with clean air, a good education, and the freedom to dream. It's about whether every person can access health care, earn a living wage, and make their own family planning choices. It's about whether we can finally create a government that reflects the people it serves. So tonight, I ask you to keep fighting with us. Keep supporting Emily's List, because every dollar you give, it's like yeast. As someone who makes bread on a regular basis, and I really do, I'm not just saying that in my speech, there's not much more you can do without the yeast. It really does help the dough rise. And with your investments, we will rise. So I say to some of you out there, if you've ever thought about running for office, run. Step into that possibility. The door is open, and we are all here to support you as you walk through it. Emily's List has shown us that when women lead, we all thrive. So let's thrive together. Let's make sure that the next 40 years are even more powerful than the last. Thank you all so much for being a part of this journey, for being a part of my journey. I am so incredibly grateful, and thank you for continuing to build a world where every woman has the chance not just to lead, but to win. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Thank you.